On this special episode of Supercars Talk, the green screen is back and I chat to a comedian about his first car. On this special episode of Supercars Talk, we're talking to a comedian, Evan Hocking. You might know him from Good Banter podcast or some comedy shows around the place. We're here to talk about your first car. What was it, and how'd you get onto it?
Simo, thanks for having us, mate. It's good to catch up. Actually,
It's been a long time.
It has been, mate. I think you might have come to a gig, a show I did in 2017 down in St Kilda.
Yes, it was at the comedy festival.
At the Hotel Barclay.
Yes, the rape dungeon one.
That's it. It looked like that, mate. And a huge fire hazard. There was one way in and one way out. If a fire started upstairs, the 6 people in the show would have been stuffed. So that's good, mate. But no, it's good to chat about my first car. Obviously, back when I was 18, and I was sort of in a surfy phase back then. I sort of had the hair like this.
You've still got it.
I've still got it. I thought, while I've still got it, I'm 39 now, so 21 years later, I thought, while I've still got it, I'm not going bald. There's a few greys, but it's going all right.
Yes.
Then I had it obviously peroxided because yellow hair looks pretty cool. But I was in my surfy phase. So I think the first car that I actually wanted, the dream if you're a surfer is the Holden Sandman, Panny. But I thought also I was landscape gardening at the time.
Yep.
And I thought, you're a landscape gardener. You can't have a panel van. You need a ute if you're a landscape gardener.
You got to fit in with the rest of them.
You got to fit in with the crew, mate. Every landscaper I knew had a ute. Some of them had the Falcon utes, which I didn't really like the look of the old.
More sensible.
Very sensible ute. But I like the old Holdens. I think I'm a Holden man. So my first ute was a Holden HZ Ute. I liked because the WBs were out there as well, but I thought they looked a bit boxy.
Yep.
Yeah, and sort of the HQs, and maybe they might have been a little bit older. But I like the double headlights on the.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On the HZ Holdens.
Yeah, sporty.
So that was my first one. But before I get into that, because I did test drive a few utes before I managed to find my first one. I remember taking a WB ute for a test drive, and it was when you just got your license, you're only really driving the first car you've had, or your mum and dad's car when you're on your L's. So finding where everything is on these other cars is a bit of a nightmare when you're test driving something. And I remember taking this WB ute for a test drive. It had the handbrake outside the driver's door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where you pull it up, you got to push the button to get it back down. And I remember reversing out, and I thought I'd taken the handbrake off. And I reversed out, and then I sort of slowly took it out. I'm just there on my own. And I went from first into second. It sort of jumped a bit. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? I didn't know what was going on. And I slowly took it around the block. I thought, I can hardly even get out of second here. What's wrong with it? And I take it back to the car. I'm not buying this piece of crap. But he said, oh, how'd you go? I said, oh, man, it's a bit sluggish. I couldn't seem to get it out of second gear. And he has a look, and he goes, mate, you didn't take the bloody handbrake off, you dickhead. So that was a bit embarrassing. I actually said to him, I said, because I felt bad. I said, mate, I'll give you $5,000 for the ute. He said, oh, well, I'm selling it for $5.5. I said, I know that, but the handbrake's rooted. Yeah. So no, I didn't buy that ute.
Yeah.
I fell in love with a HZ Ute. I managed to find one, and Dad warned me off it. He went out and checked it out and said, "Oh, mate," because he used to be a mechanic, and he sort of knows a bit about cars. He said, "Mate," he had a bit of a look at it. He goes, "Oh, I think there's a bit of rust in there. I think this is going to cause you some problems. Maybe just save your money. So I know you want to buy it. It's burning a hole in your pocket." But I'd sort of fallen in love with this ute, and because I ended up buying the ute, and because obviously I was 18, Dad was 48. I thought, what would he know?
Exactly, you know more.
I'd know more. I'm 18. I've had so much more life experience than him. I bought the ute, and basically for the next 3.5 years, all it did was cause me problems.
That's the fun of a first car, though.
Oh, and especially an old car as well. I think that's died out. I mean, a lot of people now, their first cars are, they've done 100 Ks or something. They've got all the electrics and even things like winding a window. Imagine kids these days.
Yeah, it's funny when you speak to younger people and they don't know what those are on a car.
That's right. That's right. Remember when you look over at a mate and you go, "Wind the window down." Now you just go.
Yep. Trying to adjust the passenger's mirror.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'll get it. Yeah, but mate, so much fun. Yeah. So much fun.
So did you do any modifications to the car when you got it, or was it just left as is?
Left as is. Like, I did love the car, but I wasn't a huge car guy, so I wasn't like, I want to put this in it, I want to put that on it. I was just pretty happy with how it was. It had like a 202 in it, which it sort of, mate, it sounded like it had balls, but I don't know whether there was a hole in the muffler.
Probably, broken exhaust.
Yeah, a few times people said, "Oh, mate, is it a V8?" I said, "Oh, nah, it sounds like a V8." I said, "Yeah, I think there's a hole in the muffler or something." But I just loved it.
Yeah.
And but I can run through some of the issues I had with it.
They're the funny bits.
That's exactly right.
It's no fun when someone says that their car worked and that's the end of the story. Yeah.
You go to turn it on and it starts. What?
Yeah, that's what mature age people do.
What blows my mind with cars is you can push a button and the car will start. What the hell is that?
I've got one of those these days.
Do you? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You don't have to sit there.
So there's no...
Yeah, cranking in the cold morning,
no way of the key getting locked, the barrel locking or whatever, where you got to replace the barrel. So no fun at all. But one of the first things I do remember, so I bought it in probably April 2000, and I reckon maybe late in that year I started making a bit of a whirring noise, and it was just this weird noise. I thought, I haven't heard that before. So the way I decided to deal with that was to turn the radio up.
It's gone. Magic.
Gone. What noise? What noise? So I did that for a few months, and I remember, a mate in the car just going, "Yeah, turn the radio up. That noise is giving me the shits."
She'll be right, mate.
Maybe I should have said to Dad, "Mate, have a listen to this," because, he probably would have said, "You're out of oil," or something like that. But,
you're an idiot. I told you not to buy that car.
You're an idiot. Every time something stuffed up on it, I just see it rolling around in his head. I told him not to buy that car. But I'm driving. It's Christmas holidays 2000. We're staying down at Anglesey. Me and a mate, we're driving back to Torque. And once again, the noise is just going off. So I'm just like cranking. I don't know if I could crank the radio any higher. And then as I'm driving up to Torque, it just lets out this massive bang. And I'm just, Jesus, what have I hit? What's going on? I'm looking back to see if the engine's still there. What the hell has happened? And the car just comes to a stop. And I had to ring Dad and said, "Oh, mate, the car's blown up. I don't know what's going on." And it turns out that I've dropped the diff. So the
Convenient.
Convenient, very good when you're down in Anglesey.
Yeah.
You live in Mooralbark, which
good time of the year as well to do it at Christmas.
Good time of the year. Yeah. Not much traffic on the road.
All the workshops are open to fix it.
Oh yeah, it might have even been in between the Christmas New Year's periods. So the mechanics, they're waiting for people with their car problems to come in. So I think what happened was Dad went down to like the Shell Servo and got one of those big car trailers.
Yep.
We got the car up onto the car trailer and drove it back to Mooralbark. It waited there until the mechanic that we usually use, who I visited a lot of times over the 3.5 years I had the car, was open, and I'm not sure what it costs. Sorry, go for it, mate.
It's good when the mechanic knows you by name and things like that. Yeah. Oh, you're back again.
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Good to see you again, mate. What's it been? 3 weeks? Yeah. Yeah. So I remember, he fixed the car, and at the time, I think I was landscaping, second year apprentice, earning.
So you're on the big bucks.
I'm on the big bucks. I'm just rolling in it, mate. Rolling in it. I think I was clearing $263 a week.
Yeah.
It was $50 board. And I think I had to pay for a fair few months. I had to pay $50 a week off all the work the mechanic had done on my ute. So that gave me a take-home pay of $163 to live in 2001.
Yeah. Which was a bit manageable at the time when you're at home, but
at home, exactly right. I think Mum was cooking. Beer. I don't know what pots were at that stage, but also I was driving. 3 days a week from Mooralbark to Port Melbourne, playing football out there. So
yes. So you would have had a good fuel bill.
Yeah, well, lucky it was dual fuel.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That was one of the beauties of it. It had the
gas at that point was nothing.
No, that's right. Yeah. It was so that was a positive. The other thing, the problem with the ute was the gearbox had a bit of the gearbox. Yeah, that was always caused me a few problems. I must have 2002. I was Friday night. I've just trained at Port Melbourne Footy Club. I go to obviously start the car. It started, thank God. And I went to put it into first gear. I couldn't. It was like the gearbox was just locked. Locked. No idea what's going on. So once again, I've had to make the bailout call to Dad. And he's probably just looked at the phone and gone,
I know what this call's about.
I told him, I'm sure it's not him ringing me to say he's just won that slotto or something. He's got another problem with this ute that I told him not to buy. And so then he's got to drive out from Mooralbark up to Port Melbourne, which, back there, probably an hour drive on a Friday night. Just what Dad wants to do.
Oh, he'd be super excited after a long week at work. And
just wrapped, mate, just wrapped. And I remember what happened was, because it obviously jammed, and I was after a big week at work, I was a bit tired. So I've just fallen asleep in the ute, and I'm inside the ground.
Yeah.
So Dad turns up to Port Melbourne Footy Ground, and there's big gates there, and they're locked. And he says, where are you? I said, I'm inside the ground. And he goes, well, the gates are locked. I'm like, what? I'm locked in the ground. So obviously the general manager or whatever, he's just seen this car. He's seen me car and just gone, I don't know what that's doing there. So had to ring the general manager, say, Baz, Barry Kidd or whatever his name was. Mate, I'm still stuck. I'm stuck in the ground, man. I couldn't get my car going. He has to come out, open the gates.
So you had two people really impressed with you.
Oh, mate, that's what you want at 9:30 at night on a Friday. That's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need. So we worked out, and it was basically 4 on the floor. So
Yep.
you could sort of just take the the rubber cover off, and you could basically see into the gearbox.
Yep.
And so what Dad had to do, because the gear stick was just cooked. I don't know what was going on. So Dad had to use like a screwdriver to jam it in, and he was basically drove from Port Melbourne back to Melbourne with a screwdriver, going from first into second, back up to third, down to fourth, and it was quite the adventure.
Sounds like it.
So once again, though, Dad, he still reminds me of it, but he always came and bailed me out. I was lucky I had him, because
he could have cost a lot in towing fees.
That's exactly right, and a long way from home. But one of the other things that Dad used to do, because Dad very proud of his cars, always looks after them. Me, not so much. And the Juco on the car.
Yep.
So when they're just getting a bit
Old.
Average, and old. And one day I was driving to work, or I was driving somewhere, and I just noticed there was a patch on the bonnet that was like shiny, and like it was raining, and the water was sort of beating off this little patch. And I said to Dad, "Oh, Dad, I don't know what's wrong with the bonnet. There's like a patch. I don't know whether
it's good.
I spilt oil or something on it or something, but the water just seemed to be beading off." And he goes, yeah, I waxed that part, mate. Maybe try doing it with the rest of your car. How does that sound, buddy? Yeah, so that was...
I suppose at least you noticed it.
Well, I did. It looked beautiful there, and I thought something was wrong. So I think the next day I got the hint. To look like. That's what it's supposed to look like. So I got the hint, and I'm out there with the, buffing it up, and it actually looked bloody beautiful. It's amazing when you've got an old car that you think's a bit of a rust bucket.
And you take care of it.
You take care of it. So I've sort of got one more. How are we looking for time there, mate?
No, we should go. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, cool. So this is another
has no limits.
No, that's right. I don't want to bore your listeners, though, because I know they love you, and
I think they just tune out if they don't enjoy it.
They've tuned out by now.
Leave me angry comments and turn it off.
Just direct them my way.
Yeah.
Evan Hocking, comedian.
Yeah. At Good Banter Podcast.
At Good Banter Podcast. But so this is another gearbox story. This must have been around the 2002 period as well. At the Mooroolbark Footy Club on a Sunday night.
Far from home.
Wasn't it? Was about 5 kilometres. 5 kilometres. So that's definitely towing range. If anything, it's not Anglesey.
You could do that with a tow rope.
That's right. We could do that. So it's not Anglesey. It's not Port Melbourne. So if anything stuffs up, I think Dad actually gave me a limit. He started saying, "Mate, you can't go any more than 5 kilometres from our joint."
Like the RACV.
That's right.
It's free if you're in a 10-kilometre radius.
Yeah, that's it. So no. So this was a Sunday night, Mooroolbark Football Club, and once again, dramas with the gearbox. The gear, I didn't have the screwdriver in there or anything. The gearbox was back intact, and it's just jammed in reverse. Cannot, for the life of me, get it out of reverse.
Yep.
So luckily, Dad was at the footy club at that stage, and I just had to go, "Hey, Dad, check out this, mate."
Saved a phone call.
Over. Yeah, saved a phone call.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Bonus.
He didn't have to. Yep. So he comes over and once again, just ringing in his head, told him not to buy this. Told him not to buy it. Jammed in reverse. He mucks around with it. Can't get it out of reverse. So, all right. You don't want to leave it at the Mooroolbark Footy Club. It's a rough part of Mooroolbark, mate. So we thought, oh, what's going to be left on this in the morning if we don't get it home? So Dad bites the bullet and says, I'm going to have to reverse this home.
That would have been a long drive home.
It was a long drive, but obviously you can't take it down like Bryce Avenue.
The main road.
And Manchester Road in Mooroolbark, for anyone who's been down there. You know, imagine someone just reversing over the railway line. You can't do that. So we've had to go all these back roads and basically sort of...
At 10 k's an hour.
At about 10 k's an hour. And I remember when it's reversing, it just makes this sort of noise.
Great.
Sounds great. So I can't remember whether Mum and all us in the car were in front or maybe behind. I think we may have been in front, just sort of making
It's hard to
sure
tell when one car's in reverse.
Well, that's it. It fooled us a lot of times, actually. Go, Dad's going the wrong way. Go, oh, no, that's right. The car's in reverse. So Dad, and you know, I still feel bad about him having to reverse the car. I probably should have taken the trailer off first. But I'm not sure how long it took us to drive this 5 kilometres up the back streets of Mooroolbark. But he's made it home. And I remember as he was about to reverse it up the drive, it might have been me or Mum or someone go, oh, yeah, no, just left hand down, left hand down. I remember him just yelling out the window. He goes, I've reversed it 5 kilometres home. I think I've got it by now, all right? Yeah, so that was another time where he bailed me out, and eventually it all came to an end in probably November 2003.
Okay.
Dad said to me that a little bit of rust coming through.
Yep.
And he'd been telling me for months to just go get, it was just under the passenger door trim.
Yep.
Rusting through there. He said, mate, just go get a metal guard, you know, just so, you know, if they look through it, they won't see the rust. And obviously, once again, 18, him being 48, nah, what are you talking about?
What does he know?
I think even I was 21 at the time there, so.
You know even more by then.
Geez, I was so worldly at 21. This last 3 years, it just, I've learned so much. I've really grown. But, so I was driving one day, November 2003, and got the old Breatho, Blue Zero, which I was proud of that.
Well done.
That was good. Thanks, mate. Yeah. Thanks. Because I had lost my licence earlier that year. Not for drink driving. I'd lost all my points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had a bit of a lead foot. Yeah.
I think a few of us did back then.
Yeah, and you know the old 202 just
3 minutes later you get over the speed limit.
That's exactly right, mate. So they've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. The seatbelt's frayed, rust here. You know, it's holes here, holes there, and they've gone, mate. Hate to do it to you, but bang, the old canary.
Oh yeah.
On the windscreen, and they said you've got 2-3 weeks or whatever to
fix it up,
rectify it.
Yep.
Otherwise she's going to the scrapyard. And thing is, most people would probably go, all right, let's get this thing up to scratch. But I was going on a cruise in a week, a P&O cruise, and I thought, that's too hard. So and ended up, I was sitting out the front of our place. I put a sign on it, and we thought, let's just end this. It's been a great part of all of our lives.
Yeah, especially your dad.
oh, Dad, he's still heavy-hearted.
Dude, tear in his eye.
Just that, as we put a little thing on for sale, I think it might have been $350 or nearest offer. And some guy came over, bought it for $300. He said, I'll give you $300. And Dad reversed it home for him. So that was no, he banged it on the car trailer, and I think we all just waved, and we thought, that part of your life where, it was a good 3.5 years. It was good fun, mate. But once again, I've still got, and he still doesn't let me forget it to this day.
No, they're good like that.
Oh, mate, they've got long memories. Can't wait till he gets dementia and he can finally.
They never forget all the good things you did.
Yeah.
It's always the bad things.
What about that Father's Day present where I took you here and I took you there? It's no, so that was my first car, and I owe a heap to my old man, because even though he told me not to buy it, he could have just said, you're on your own, son, but he bailed me out so many times. It was great fun, great first car, and that was it. That was my first car.
Listen to him on the second car?
The second car, where did I go from that? Because obviously I had nothing. Car was gone. I think I ended up with I just ended up with second-hand car. I think I had Nana's.
Oh, okay.
Nana
just a hand-me-down.
Passed on, and I had a Magna station wagon.
Nice.
So you thought the 202 and the HZ Ute had no balls. Jesus Christ. There were times I was going in reverse. It's not because I wanted to. It's because I was going up a hill and it wouldn't make it. So
they might be stories for another day.
That's exactly right. We'll do a take two. Yeah. My second car.
Yeah. Did anyone actually improve?
Yes, I've gotten worse. Oh, but it's all good fun, mate. It's all good fun, and you got some great stories. So really good stuff.
Great. Thanks for that. And if you enjoyed Evan's stories, Good Banter Podcast, search for it on your podcatcher of choice. On there with Tom Seagate. It was semi-regular, except at the moment with the whole lockdowns, you're stuck in another state, so it's just on a bit of a hiatus. There is a great back catalogue, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe not go back to episode 1, but probably around episode 10 or so you really started to hit the stride of listenable.
I look at the first 8 episodes as like my first car.
Yeah. And then you started to figure out what you were doing.
A lot of ups and downs, mate.
No, it's good. And I definitely recommend it for anyone out there if you found this at all entertaining. So thank you very much.
Good on you, Simo. Take it easy, mate.
That was Evan Hocking from Good Banter Podcast. I'll put the link down in the description there to check it out on YouTube or on your podcatcher of choice. As we said, it is on hiatus at the moment because he is over in WA while his co-host Tom Seagate is stuck in Melbourne, and they found it a little bit difficult to get together to record it because of that. But it will be returning very shortly. If you do go through the back catalogue, maybe not start from the start, maybe kind of from the middle, because it took them a little bit of time to get in their stride. But now that they've kind of hit their stride, I really enjoy it. So it's definitely worth a listen. So give it a try. But until next time, I'm still Dave, and I'll catch you later.